We ready? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 71 of the Koi Marketplace. It's been an absolutely crazy week this week. I've had a lot on my mind, had a lot of things going on. The store has been in full force. We've had a ton of customers this week. So many things going on. My mind is... So I leave this morning to come here, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get the guys sandwiches. We're going to have a good lunch. I've been telling you about this sandwich, this grilled chicken sandwich, balsamic, roasted red peppers, mozzarella, garlic hero. This thing is amazing. It's the best sandwich I ever had. So I figured I'm going to go get this sandwich for me and the guys. Me and the guys being Michael and Gabe, which I know. Shut up. Good morning. Say good morning to Gabe. Say good morning to Michael. How was your week, guys? Busy? So Gabe is now a real estate mogul, and he's been selling properties all over the place. If you're looking for someone to help you with real estate, here's the guy. In New York State or Portugal.
Well, I mean, if they want it somewhere else, they can let me know. I'll help them out.
All right. Excellent. And Michael? On the side, Michael is a male escort. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Is there a number where they can reach you?
I don't even know how to say that. I don't even know what to say.
All right. So I get up this morning, I get dressed, and I'm like, I get in the truck, and I'm gonna get some sandwiches. So I pull up to the deli, I go to get out of the truck, and I forgot my shoes. I'm just wearing socks. I am just wearing my socks. Lucky I had an old pair of shoes in the back of my truck. But yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy week. Lots going on. We did start our Mother's Day sale. When did it start? Yesterday? Mother's Day sale started yesterday. And what is the Mother's Day sale, Michael?
$15 off one individual fish.
15%. 15% off one individual fish.
Or 10% off the entire purchase.
Okay, so we have 15% off one individual fish, or we have 10% off of the entire purchase. So come on down for Mother's Day. Are we hosting that for a week?
No,
just this weekend? Just until Mother's Day. All right. And there's Tom. Good morning, Tom. Here's my buddy Tom.
What's up, brother? Holy shit.
Say good morning. Tom and I have known each other since we were kids. Good morning. How are you?
Good. I didn't want to interrupt. I'm sorry.
That's all good. So I forgot my shoes this morning, and I had gotten out of the truck, and I was like, oh my God. My mind is just going a million different places today. So, you got a question?
He says, when calling Koi Market, order extra anchovies, but he hasn't seen that movie either.
What?
It's from a movie.
All right, so say it again now.
When calling Koi Market, order extra anchovies.
Oh, not Can't Buy Me Love. That's it was with the same guy from Can't Buy Me Love.
976 levels of that.
No, that was a good movie. I know what movie that is. That was a really good movie with Patrick Dempsey, and he becomes a male escort. That's why he's telling the story. He becomes a male escort, and it's when you order pizza. If you order pizza with extra anchovies, then he knows that it's an extracurricular job. So yes, great movie. What is the name of that movie? I need to know because now I have to go watch it because it was really good. I like that movie. So we had a bunch of projects this week. I got hurt. I slipped in a pond and I hurt my calf. You can see I slipped. My legs are all cut up. Things happen, but give me 1 second. Good morning, guys. How are you today?
Good.
What are you guys looking for?
Everything. Bonsai koi, the whole nine.
All right. Did you call earlier for bonsai?
We did not.
All right. Well, I have bonsai here. I also have the bonsai house is in the back right corner.
Okay.
So the small koi house is right there.
Okay.
Okay.
The big koi house is right here. The water's just low because we were treating the tanks.
Sure.
This is a store over here, and yeah, go for it.
Are they imported, the koi?
Everything's in Japan.
Everything's in
Yes.
Japan? Nice.
There's 10,000 fish here.
Okay, cool.
So, what was I saying? So I slipped and I hurt my calf. I pulled my calf, and I'm actually walking much better today than I was. My knees are already shot, which you know, I mentioned it last week. What is it? Loverboy. That was a good movie. It was in the 90s. Patrick Dempsey, I think his name is. The guy from Grey's Anatomy. Really good movie. He's also in Can't Buy Me Love, if you want to see a really good movie. It's in my top movies, Michael. My top movies, every time I mention a movie to Michael, it's one of my top movies. How big is that list? It's like 100 long. So yeah. I did start watching his new show called Silo on Apple TV. If you haven't caught it yet, definitely check that one out. If you like sci-fi stuff, it's pretty cool. It's about it's like a couple hundred years in the future. No one really knows what the timeline is, and people are caught in this silo down below ground. And if you go above ground, you die. And everyone's kind of trying to figure out what their place is, why they're there, and why they die when they go outside. It's very interesting. But yeah, so what do we have going on this week, and what do we have going on today? So this week, worked on some projects, and I got hurt. My wife got hurt last week, 2 weeks ago, and she's okay now. She's really enjoying working here at the store. She absolutely loves it, which is great. I love that she loves working here. She's here on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, and she's working what we call the front of the house. She's working at the store. Got a question?
Spring says put some DeBride ointment on your cat.
All right, you know what's really funny? You say that jokingly. I have actually used DeBride ointment on my cuts, and it works phenomenal. It works really, really, really well. I didn't have any because we were out and we just got a new shipment in. So I think maybe I will use it. Yes.
Michael Adrian also says watch The Offer.
Oh, so Michael has been telling me about this show called The Offer, and it's about the making of the Godfather movie or movies. I just haven't had a chance to see it yet, but I do want to see it. I talked to Robin about it, and she's like, I don't want to watch that, so we didn't watch it. Al just stopped by. What's up? Good morning, Al.
What's going on? Good to see you, my brother.
Al is from Sound Shore Ponds, and we're going to talk a bit more about that today. I was just telling a story about, my mind is all over the place. And I got in the truck this morning. I got in the truck this morning, and I stopped to get sandwiches for us for lunch. And I get out of the truck, and I was wearing my socks. I forgot my shoes. I mean, I'm all the way. I'm like 10 minutes from the house already, and my mind is just, I don't even know. So,
Not going on.
So Al and I have been spending a whole bunch of time together, and it's been really fun. And we have a lot to talk about because we have a lot of things in common. Al and I partnered this year. Al, how long has Sound Shore Ponds been in business?
Oh, geez. I've been doing this almost 25 years, and I even started way back. I had a company called Clearwater Pond and Landscape.
You know what? I forgot you don't have this. So
All right.
you may not
So
be
I had a
here.
company called Clearwater Pond and Landscape many, many years ago when I was working 2 jobs at the time. Got rid of that. I was a police officer for 21 years, yes. I'll hold that against me. So when I finally decided to retire, we really blew up the business, and we have been growing substantially every year, and it's been amazing.
Right.
So,
And you've won a couple of awards for your projects?
yeah, we do pretty well every year. We just had a really nice write-up recently on in a couple of magazines, which was great, and yeah, and it's fun. I enjoy this immensely compared to what I used to do. So,
Compared to you. me too. And people, you guys know that I used to design video games, and when I did that, people would say, "Oh, you must have the most fun job, guys."
but like you, small business, it's stressful. It's keeping above everything and keeping everything rolling. So it's had its challenges for us this year, as you know. We've had some staffing issues. We had some office issues, and we had a rough start. But we turned it around, and now we're rolling. And
So what is it that you guys do?
well, like you guys, we do pond maintenance. But construction is really the backbone of what we do. We're all over the island. We build anywhere from your average backyard pond to lake-sized ponds for homeowner associations. Currently, we're in the process of building a 1-acre pond for a construction company. But we even do poolscapes, right? Anything with water is what we do. We try to be very
waterfalls for
waterfalls, everything,
Cool.
fountainscapes, yeah. Yep.
Excellent. All right. So I know everyone seems to have a hard time believing this. So Al worked on we have this great partnership together, and they're going to be building our projects moving forwards. And the first thing that we decided we were going to do together is the corner waterfall. And I say the corner waterfall because the corner here is the most important area of our entire property, and it's because it's exposed to everyone. And when I say everyone, we have Deer Park Avenue, which is 40,000 cars each way every single day, and then we have the North Service Road of the LIE, which is Long Island Expressway, is the busiest road on all of Long Island, and the North Service Road gets around between 9 and 10,000 cars a day, every single day. So everyone is driving past that corner. So when Al and I started talking about this, the first thing that was said was the corner has to get done first. And it's not just let's make a waterfall. It was let's make something so epic that everyone that drives by has to look at it. So I don't know how I've done it, but I mean, Al and his team have been working on a whole bunch of things at the same time. So we didn't get it done in a couple of days. So it's been a few weeks to get it to where it is today, which is awesome. And I say awesome because everyone's telling me it's awesome. I haven't actually seen it. I forgot that. Yep. I haven't seen it yet. And the funny thing is, no one believes me that I haven't actually looked. I have to actually go. I'm going east when I come here. I get off at the exit and I sit at the light. I put the what do you call it? The visor down, and then I go like this. So I can't see anything, and I put my hand in front of my face. Every time I pass by that corner, I go like this, and I can't actually see anything. So I've seen nothing of what's up there. I have no idea what it's going to be, because the idea was let's have some fun with it, and we're going to do a big reveal. So let's do it. Are you guys ready to do it?
Ready. We are ready to go. Super excited. Yeah.
I thought it would be really funny for me to put a koi sock on my head, but you think that's funny?
I think it'd be awesome.
All right.
What's the audience think?
Guys, you think we should put a koi sock on my head? I'll do it if you guys say I should do it. And I'm not one of those who will just do anything that anyone says, but I'll do that. I don't mind. We have to find a koi sock. One that's not well used would be great. The more used, the better. All right. I mean, it kind of, okay. All right, let's do this. Let me go. Oh, they're wheeling some stuff around.
We grabbed the rope.
No, that one wasn't going up there. It was the other two. So, getting a bunch of likes. All right.
Where was this?
Oh, let me go. Let me go find a koi sock. I'll be right back. Good morning.
Hey, leave us your microphone.
Oh, you take that. I'm going to go find a koi sock.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, Michael, let's walk over here. We'll talk about your big fish. So, did we swap this fish out with
the Showa?
Oh, with the Showa. Okay.
We've already put it out there. Yeah.
So, take a look at this fish, Michael. Show the audience your massive koi here. So, we were able to incorporate 2 of these into the landscape around the water feature that we just put together. They're not permanently set just yet. Good to see you. But it's going to be pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So we have that thing lit up at night. We have all LED lighting inside there, so that'll be really sweet. And like Sean has you as a right-hand man, Gabe. This is Gabe Villa. He works for me. He's my right-hand man. He is amazing at building, seeing the vision. It took a long time for me to train him, but we got him there, and he's just awesome. So, all right, are you ready, my friend?
I got the koi sock.
I'll give you this back.
Come here. Yeah, it fits. It fits. All right, so
All right. How you
let's
wanna
figure
do
out
this?
how I don't know how we do this. We're gonna walk around.
How are you? We're doing our reveal out front.
I saw you standing out there earlier. Saw Franklin yesterday.
Good to
Thanks for
see you.
sending them
Yeah,
over.
no problem. Good. Mike, this is Sean.
Sean,
Sean
it's
is
a
the coin
pleasure.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
I wanted to tell
Was that you?
Yeah, it's me.
All right.
I'm having one problem.
So, all right. So we're gonna take a walk out in front, and like I said, I'm not going to look. Huh? Yeah, we'll go out this way. You can see we're going to pass the coin market truck. I don't know if you guys have all seen. This is my truck. Yes, this is parked in my driveway every night. My wife thinks it's pretty funny that I have this in the driveway, but the neighbors aren't complaining, so it does the job. I actually at one point I was carrying one of those sticks with the grabbers, and every time I would stop at a light, I would actually hand out. People would roll down their window, and I would actually hand out business cards with the stick.
Isn't it amazing how you? So we wrapped when I first wrapped my pickup truck. I was stopped at a light. We were working on a project around the corner. Woman rolls down her window.
Yeah.
She goes, "Hey, are you working in the area?" I said, "Absolutely." She goes, "Can you come and look at my pond?" Well, I went that afternoon to go look at a pond.
Yeah.
It sold $160,000 project.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
And the truck was only wrapped for maybe 2 weeks. I mean, it paid for itself tenfold.
I'm a true believer in having truck wraps. Every vehicle we have is wrapped.
It looks professional. All of our trucks are wrapped just like yours. You show up, you roll up with your crew. You got your army with you. Everybody's wearing company shirts, right?
Yeah.
You're a true company. You're not a fly-by-night.
I totally agree.
So. All right.
So one other thing I want to mention here. So our neighbor on the other side is Anderson Landscaping, Paul Anderson, Anderson Landscapes. They did, and what I'm being told is a phenomenal job. I haven't actually seen it because I haven't actually gone and seen it yet, but Paul went all out and they did an amazing job on the landscaping, so we're excited to see that as well. If you guys are looking for some landscaping to be done, you should definitely give Anderson Landscapes a call. So I'm being told I have to put this on. Before we do, just take a look here. You can see all the cars there's no cars passing by right now because they're sitting at a light.
Right.
But this is the main intersection here, 495. The LIE is right here. So this is where I turn, and look at that. You can see a coin market vehicle coming right there. We were just talking about our vehicles being wrapped. There you go.
Stands out, right?
So lots of traffic coming through here. I'm putting it on. All right.
Can you see a little bit?
I can see a little bit.
All right. So,
all right. I'm going to watch the grass.
Michael, don't let him walk into traffic.
I'm watching the grass. I don't see anything. I'm very excited about this. What I wouldn't do for this business. So, I really haven't seen any of this. So, I'm sure all the cars are walking around seeing me wearing this and be like, what the hell is this guy doing? All right. I don't care. Woo!
You're good there. Turn.
All right.
Come towards me a little bit. Get you standing.
All right. So we are going to do the reveal of the new waterfall. Are you guys seeing it yet? You're looking at me.
No, they're looking at you right now.
Okay. Oh my God. Wow. Guys, that looks fucking amazing. And yeah, I said fucking because it looks fucking amazing. Holy cow. This looks awesome.
Water coming
I love
from
the
every
split.
angle.
The split right here.
Yep. Got a little water going into the pot on the back end there.
I'm just going to walk up into here.
So we created some...
This is a cool idea.
We created some raised planting beds out of some aquascape slate stacked urns that we had parts that we would cut down, and we were able to create some raised planting beds. We have one more up here. Still needs to be planted, but it's a little guy. We'll get a low plant in there as well.
decked out with irises and some junipers, and it really gives it some color.
This looks awesome. Wow. I love the driftwood. This really looks awesome. You got a lot of flow out of it too.
Look at all of this traffic.
Yeah, the view here is
Coming by.
everyone can see it.
Yep. Just hope we don't cause an accident. How many lights in it?
10 lights.
10 lights, yeah.
So you guys did the aquascape lighting.
Yep. Yeah. So, you want to talk about the project a little bit? Let me just
Yeah,
grab the
yeah.
microphone.
Let's talk about it, please.
Okay. So what we're currently standing on right now is a series of large aquascape aqua blocks. And the aqua blocks, if I had to describe them, if you're not familiar, they look like an oversized milk crate with ribbing inside it, and it creates water volume. So every large aqua block contains about 35 to 37 gallons of water. So we had to calculate how much water we were going to flow with our series of pumps, pipes, and everything else to figure out what our reservoir would have been,
And
right?
that's basically, so everything we're standing on right here is that reservoir.
Exactly. And on top of that, we put what are called flow cell panels. A flow cell panel, excuse me, is a thick, perforated plastic panel that we're able to put thousands and thousands of pounds of stone. As you can see, all of these lower rocks are actually sitting on top of the aqua blocks and the panels. And then we have our underlayment fabric and our 45 mil EPDM liner under that. We have two 9PLs and a third 5,000 pump in there as well, pushing all that water volume up to the top with 3-inch plumbing. So
There's a little lip there that's facing. You know what makes me crazy is when you see some guys, they do some waterfalls and like everything is just stepped right down. You know, you've guided the water in a lot of different directions here. I love that the water falls into that little crevice there
Yep.
and then turns to the right, and that waterfall turning to the left there, and then it coming from the side over there. It's so important. It changes everything when you do stuff like that, because it makes it look more natural. You're never going to see something that's just step one step after the next.
right. A couple little things that we added with some of what we call a dry stack or a slate stack stone in there. It actually goes with the planters. It kind of matches. It breaks up the texture so it's not all just large moss rock and Pennsylvania fieldstone boulders sporadically set out. So it breaks that texture up a little bit. We will add some more plants in here, some more creeping jenny, just to give some color and some life within the waterfall itself. But
I love it.
overall, an amazing job, an amazing project. Good job. And yeah, absolutely. And I have to say, not just Gabe, my whole crew, that everybody that spent time on this, guys just killed it, and they love what they do. You can tell the passion is there. So, all right, that's it for me. I'm going to hand this back over to you.
I wonder if anyone's walking by and seeing things, and I guess they are. Hi, how are you? Oh, really? That's really cool. I love it. I mean, that's what we did it for. We want people to see this, and we want people to see the koi. We're gonna move the koi around and get them exactly where we want them, so everyone knows that this is koi market. And we're gonna take a look at the landscaping too, because Paul did an amazing job on that. I mean, so it was really funny when Al and I came out here. This area we cleared away, and then this whole area over here was 30-some-odd-year-old trees that hadn't been touched in 30 years. It was a mess. Everything over here was a complete mess. And Paul next door came over and he's like, you know what? Rip all that out. And we had just met. He's like, rip, because we just moved here. He said, rip all that out and we'll come in here and we'll re-landscape the whole thing for you. And wow. You guys, he did.
He ripped everything out.
I mean, look at this gorgeous antique weeping beech here. This tree is, that tree is amazing. I mean, I don't think that wall wasn't there before, was it? They built this wall here. I mean, he saw the opportunity to really go for it here, and he redid this whole area and made it look absolutely gorgeous. Wow, this is really nice. None of this was here. This was all nasty looking shrubs that just were unkempt. They weren't touched for many, many years. And he came in here and he really cleaned it up. And he worked together with Al and his crew. I think we're going to put some grass. We're going to put grass in here. That's next. I guess we're going to get some mulch in here. And we're going to finish it up. And it just looks amazing. Guys, you really, really went the extra mile here.
Yeah, I love it.
I absolutely love it.
Well, we were hoping you'd say that because to try and take it down and rebuild it would be a little difficult.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
The amount of times I saw you just covering your face and you're ready to pass him up.
Yeah.
Now look at it.
You did stay true to your word.
I did. You know what? I was really like, I'm not going to look. But you know what was cool is that, I hadn't seen it and you guys turned it on earlier in the week. And customers were coming in and they were just like, holy cow, that waterfall is amazing. And I started getting texts from customers saying like, dude, that waterfall looks sick. So it just kind of like, it hyped me up even more to see everything. So I was pretty excited to finally see it. What do you think, Mike? All right, let's rip it down.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you, brother.
My pleasure. Thank you. Good luck with the store. This is going to be epic. It's going to be epic.
So, come on down for Mother's Day weekend. And it's 15% off on a single fish or 10% off of your entire order. And we look forward to seeing you. And, all right. This is great. Guys, thank you.
Yep.
We're going to mess around with the koi today. Probably move him around a little bit and find the right spot for him. I'm going to go stand in the middle of the road over there and see what the best location is. Hopefully not get hit by a vehicle. And, wow. What a transformation.
Yeah, you'll have to post some before pictures for people to really appreciate it.
Yeah, we do have some. We have some before pictures?
I have some, yeah.
You do?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, we're going to do some before and afters. Are the lights on? Do we know?
Lights are ready to go, yeah. You're in.
We haven't. I guess we need to.
I need to see this at night myself.
We're going to need to stay and order some dinner, and we need to put a table out here. We need a table right here. Let's do it. I love it. All the cars, they have to, I mean, they stop right here, and what else are they going to look at except for, for this? Look at the birds are hanging out up at the top. They're swimming in the water. I love it. I can't wait to see the lights
The
on.
grand opening, I say we get a girl in a mermaid outfit sitting up top.
That would be awesome.
Waving to the public.
We could do that. Brian Helfrich just said that's going to stop some traffic.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brian. What's up, buddy?
If that's coming from Brian, I'll take it. That guy is amazing. Amazing on it.
Things to get drone shots.
We will get some drone shots as long as we don't show the parking lot. We can do drone shots.
Yeah.
The parking lot's not so nice. But I don't know what to say other than thank you guys. It looks amazing. Yes, two questions.
Is this going to be winterized, or is it going to be running all winter?
So the question is it going to be winterized or is it going to be running all winter? I mean, it could be running all winter. It is so guys, it's a water feature. there are always things that you have to worry about when you're leaving something open for the winter. And you have to make sure that you can maintain it, because if for whatever reason something stops, if for whatever reason you lost power, or the pumps got clogged and the water got to a point where it was so slow that the pipes could freeze, you're going to lose everything, and then you're in a lot of trouble. So the idea would be, if you're going to leave something on, you need to make sure that you can make sure it's maintained properly so that it continues to function properly. I have not decided whether I want to keep this running in the winter, but it's something we'll have to think about.
What are you going to be doing to prevent algae growth?
What are we going to be doing to prevent algae? So on a water feature, what would you normally do when you're maintaining a pondlets?
Well, we want to treat this organically because we want to treat this organically. So we want to we're going to be pumping some fresh water in here daily. That'll also help. With the size of the rocks and all the movement, and when the sun really starts to heat up on this, we'll lose a little bit of water volume. So having some fresh water come in there will certainly minimize any kind of algae buildup. We will get some string algae. We'll combat that, as lightly with, a granular algicide or something. We don't want to push the birds away, the butterflies, the dragonflies, all that stuff. So we want to try and minimize as much as possible, even if you just sprayed it or hit it with a brush just to loosen it up. And then lots of healthy bacteria. Bacteria should minimize that, and phosphate binders will minimize the algae buildup. So
looks like we'll have to get this on our maintenance schedule.
Absolutely. I know a guy. So a good friend of mine, going back to you shutting it off for the winter time, right? Good friend of mine, Alan Decker, once said, if it looks amazing dry, it's going to be killer when it's wet. So this thing looked awesome when it wasn't running.
Yeah.
People were honking and saying, hey, when are you getting it going? When are you getting going? So this thing looked awesome, just the rock formations when it wasn't running. And we added the water to it, and wow, it just really popped. Yeah. So, absolutely.
Yeah. My mind is just like, I'm just so excited about this.
Yeah. It's great because you just look at little angles and it catches your eye, like, oh shit, look at the water, excuse me, heading off one side, a little trickle over here next to the pot, watering that plant. Yeah, it's really awesome.
I'm gonna take a walk up.
Yep. You want to take that with you?
I'll take this.
I did hurt myself this week, so there's a chance I may fall. Love how it pools up at the top there. So it's pooling all the way up at the top so that it evenly flows over all the stone around the sides on the left and right sides. I'm going to make my way over to this side here. It's really cool right in here. I was talking about the different turns. So the water comes around there and it cuts to the right and then it goes to the left over here. It's just, when you're building, you have to think about how the water is going to drop. It's not just let me throw a rock and see what happens. I mean, you're thinking about all this as you're building. And the placement of the stone and how the stone is facing is going to direct the water in different directions. And here you see how, I mean, you're not really thinking much about it, but how this is all curved, it's curving the sheer descent that falls off of it. So it just, I love it. It looks great. All right, I'm sweating my ass off, which I always do, so it's nothing new. But we're going to head back over to the store, and we're going to discuss some of the other stuff that's been happening over there. And I hope you guys like it as much as I do. If you do, share it, please. take some screenshots and post it, and we're going to post some video too, and I hope you guys like it. I want to hear what you think. Cool. We're going to go this way.
I'm good.
Looks awesome, dude.
Really happy about it.
Yeah. Looks great. All right, we're gonna mess around with the fish today. I mean, the balance with the fish is we want people to see the koi, but we also don't want to block any of the water that's coming down. So we need to kind of mess around with it a little bit. And, well, I don't want to block any stone. I mean, I do want to see. Sorry. I do want to see what it'll look like with a fish in the water feature versus outside the water feature, and we'll mess around with that a little bit. The whole idea here is that everyone knows that it's koi market. We want you to know that, without even having a sign that says koi market, that it is koi market. I was gonna put one of those like honk if you like the waterfall, so people would just be driving by honking while we were doing it, but I forgot to do it. All right, so we're gonna head back again. Get one last look at the waterfall. We actually have sprinkler systems is getting upgraded starting on Monday. They're coming in to redo the sprinklers so that we can make sure all this is watered. And then we're going to get new grass in here. And I don't know if we're doing sod or seed. Probably seed. We'll do seed.
I just went to go buy this morning.
Huh?
I just went to buy this morning.
Oh, really? You went to buy seed this morning? That's something you normally do in the morning? I went to get a haircut this morning. You went to buy seed? I don't like that car. Not a fan. Yeah, never been a fan of that one.
Are you going to put a koi market sign near the falls?
So the question is, are we going to put a koi market sign near the falls? I think we're going to put something somewhere. So this actually may not be a bad place. Where this koi is right here may not be a bad spot for a sign. I have to think about how we're putting the koi. We haven't decided yet, and then we're gonna put a sign in as well.
A sign spinner.
I don't know. I don't think we need. I don't think we need to have anything spinning. I think that.
No, a sign spinner.
Yeah. No, I know.
In the front.
Oh, a sign spinner. I was thinking like a sign that's rotating. A sign spinner. We, believe it or not, I'm not kidding. I have looked into koi costumes. We've definitely debated having someone standing in a koi costume and standing in front of the store. We couldn't find one that was the right size, is the problem. Travis did say that he would wear it, but after he wore it, probably no one would ever wear it again.
Travis has to stand over there and just go like this.
We could put in straps on these things and you could just walk around with these. That's pretty funny. But yeah, so we have to, So should we do sod or seed here? What do you think?
I think we could probably seed this, get it graded out, and seed it up. You definitely want to mulch the hill.
Yeah.
You want to be able to retain some of the soil. You just got to figure out how and where you want to mount these.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Originally, I had this guy right up in that nook. That's what that flat area was.
Right.
There. It was closer in here. Just felt like from across the street you weren't getting this angle right here because the fish is so damn small.
Right.
So we were losing that. So I really wanted to get it down here in the landscape. You might be able to do that. So
I don't know, maybe, yeah, right up there might not be bad.
Yeah.
I know the Atlas cedar is there, but...
Yeah. Well, everything's movable. It's still fresh.
All right, we'll mess around with that today. Cool, and we'll get this all leveled out here. They're coming in with the sprinklers. They're starting on Monday, and once they do that, then we can come in here and we can level this out and seed, and we'll go from there. All right, let's take it back in. I'm not wearing the koi sock back because it's really hot, and I'm already wearing. I shouldn't walk backwards because of my leg, but so I got a big smile on my face. I'm really happy. I'm really excited. I'm also excited that I don't have to. I'm also excited that I don't have to cover my face anymore when I turn around the corner, because that gets really annoying. The dog barking.
That was a child.
What?
That was a child.
Barking?
Yeah.
Um,
That was
kids bark.
That was the best.
So I have the truck always parked out here like this, so that when you drive by, you can see where Koi Market is. But we really have to do a good job cleaning this all up and making it look nice, and we have to get mulch in this whole thing here. We got to clean up all these weeds, and yeah, we got a lot to do. So now we have to hit the ground running and get this area cleaned up. We're going to do something here as well in the future. And then obviously the grass, I won't say obviously, but the grass area over here is also going to get a really nice waterfall. So this whole area up here is going to turn into a nice waterfall and pond, so that people can hang out over here. We want to make the ultimate destination here. That's our goal. And the idea here is that when you come here, you won't ever have to go anywhere else. Yeah. So, all right. So there's Chris over there. Good morning, Chris. Say hi.
How's it going?
Hi, guys.
I like your fish.
Thank you. Thank you.
Got a haircut for your podcast, huh? Very nice.
I got a haircut this morning. I went to get my haircut. I go 7:30 this morning. I looked up the phone. My place was actually open at 8, and the line was out the door at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I blinked. It was done. He finished it in probably 8 minutes. He finished my hair. He did the whole thing. Came out all right.
For small child going up.
So, yes.
Michael is asking where's your glasses, and Spring is asking.
My glasses are, I think I left them at home, actually.
Spring is asking if we could do a pond building workshop on site with the pond builder.
Yes, we will. We can do that. We've talked about doing it in the past. We'd have to make an area for it. Yes, we can certainly do some things like that. I like that idea, and I'll talk to Al about it too. And I think it's a great idea, and it would be fun to do. I'm sweating. Is the AC on inside?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna go inside. So before I do, I'm gonna hand this to Gabe. There you go, Gabe. And so we set up. I don't think this was on the show last week, but I added another fountain. So we did this aquascape spillway, and well, I guess we'll throw some plants or something in front of there. But now you can see a bunch of the different water features that aquascape offers. This is another bowl from aquascape. I do have to put gravel down. Eventually, I'll do that. I added this to it. I didn't want to have a spillway here because I didn't want to create I didn't want to take up too much space. We still have to work on this side over here. Not sure what we're going to do over here yet. I think we'll have granite and some other statuary going along this side. That's kind of the current plan. We're going to. So I think the electric is almost done in here. We've done quite a lot. We're going to be hanging some fans in here. Right now the AC is on, so it's nice and cool in here. But The store is pretty much in a good place on this side. There's some more things that we have to add and do, of course. And this side over here, I'm excited about where this is going. So we're going to have a look-down tank over here that runs across right over here. Sorry, the bonsai, we're going to have a bonsai section here, just in this space here, and Chris is going to make some nice shelving for that. We have bonsai supplies in here, everything from tables to media, little micronutrients, wire to wire up, and you can see all different types of media for different types of plants. And we'll have a whole section over here for pots, and we'll probably have a couple of plants in here as well. That's going right here. And then right here is going to be what I call a look-down tank, so that you can walk up to it just like the aquatic plant tanks. So we'll have a tank here, and that will have goldfish in that. And we actually have some tanks running. So look, they're working, they're functioning. Right now, these are on. These are filled with water. These are on. There's some stuff in them that has to be cleaned out. I guess we have to get a little vacuum or one of those things that... no? Oh, yeah. Take the pipe out and then it just... I like that. Question? We do have barley straw extract. We do. I don't carry the bales. The reason why I don't carry bales of barley, and this works. Barley acts as a natural peroxide. As barley, and it originally came from putting bales of barley straw into the pond, and as it broke down, it turned into a natural peroxide that was harmless to the fish, but it kills the algae. Someone figured out along the way, like, well, we can just do extract. You don't need to actually use the barley and wait weeks and weeks and weeks for it to break down. You can use the extract. So I do have barley straw extract here.
Michael Agent says put one away.
Okay. Michael, I will put one away for you. And what's cool about that is that Michael, who has gone through a couple of surgeries on his hip, and he is recovering and he is now driving. So congratulations, Michael. So we will be seeing him at the store sometime soon. We had an entire section of Green Reset filters. We've sold almost all of them. But we have barley straw extract in 16, 32, and 1 gallon sizes. I don't think we have anything bigger. It does come larger than that, but I don't have any. I think it comes in a 2.5 gallon as well. Works really nicely. We can kind of segue this into talking about water treatments for your pond. So we have a couple of different products here. I don't know if you can see these. We'll put these on camera. Put those over there. I don't know if it's safe to take this off, but I'm just running my ass off. Is this safe to be on camera? Should I go get another shirt?
It's not safe for work.
I might have to run and go get another shirt out of the truck. So, as the season starts, guys, there are some things that we like to use. We don't have any koi on over here, do we? No fridge in the back.
Just talk about it.
There's a couple of products that we like to use on a routine basis, and so we'll start with these. So, beneficial bacteria. So, adding beneficial bacteria to the pond. I should probably use this, right?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Guys, back in the day, I was not a believer in beneficial bacteria. I felt like it was, I don't know, like I thought it was a little bit of snake oil. And we've had this conversation before, and we've discussed it in a bit of detail. Where I brought in the president of Crystal Clear to talk about his products, and we brought my team in, the maintenance team in, and our retail team in, and we all sat and we listened to what he had to say, and we're all kind of skeptical, and we said, all right, well, you know what product would you use on a weekly basis for your pond? And he brought up 3 products. Now, we also have Proform PC, which is also a beneficial bacteria. But he brought up 3 products that he would use routinely. BioClarifier, Muck Off, and Clarity Max. Now, Muck Off and BioClarifier are both sludge-eating bacteria. Okay, this is bacteria that's going to break down the debris in your pond, the detritus in your pond, the solids in your pond. And then Clarity Max, which is a phosphate binder. Your question? Yeah.
Danny is asking, I'm starting a Proform C treatment for the first time. Anything special I should or shouldn't do?
Danny, hold that thought. We'll circle back to that. We're just going to discuss this first, and then we'll discuss Proform C. But we will get to that. Another question?
Proform PC and Coizyme work together, right?
Well, Proform PC. Proform PC is a beneficial bacteria, and Coizyme is also a bacteria, but it's a bacteria that's basically good bacteria that will outperform the bad bacteria, and basically it'll starve out the bad bacteria. But yes, they can be used together. Absolutely. So good question. BioClarifier, and everyone says that they have the best beneficial bacteria. There's a lot of different beneficial bacteria out there. They are all performing a very similar function, which is bacteria that's breaking down. I mean, the first thing, and the thing you're not seeing here, that I'm showing over there, is aeration. You need to have aeration in the pond. You're providing oxygen to this beneficial bacteria, and the bacteria will thrive with that oxygen. BioClarifier comes in a water-soluble bag. You throw the bag in the water, it breaks down and gets the entire water table. It gets pulled through the filter, and it just gets the whole thing. Same thing would happen if you use Proform PC. Proform PC is a powder. I like the powders better than the liquids, guys. The liquids, it's not that the liquids don't work, but you need to use the liquids a little bit faster when it comes to beneficial bacteria. You can't just open it and let it sit. Hey. All right, tell me later. Proform PC, also an excellent beneficial bacteria. But they're all performing the same function, which is breaking down the debris in the ponds. And then we have Muck Off. Muck Off, also beneficial bacteria. This is a tablet. Okay? Now, as a tablet, you're going to throw this around the different locations in the pond. And it's going to, with pinpoint accuracy, get bacteria into the spots that you want to get it to versus getting the entire water table. There's a lot of areas in a pond where you'll have dead zones. If you have gravel in the pond, you want to be able to break down the debris that's getting in between the gravel. So utilizing a tablet where you can throw it into different locations around the pond works really well. And then you can also use, this is Pond Shock. These are good for about 2,500 gallons, so you can use multiple if you have larger ponds. But if you have a smaller pond, it's okay. You can use it, for ponds up to 2,500 gallons. And this is a time-released ball. Yeah, sack. Yes. Either way, I am now a believer. Basically what we did is, so we took these 3 products and we gave it to my team, my maintenance team, and they go out to our customers on a weekly to bi-weekly basis. And they tested them out, and they came back a month later, and we were astonished. We were actually seeing the different colors of the stones inside the pond, something that you never saw before. We're getting lots of calls from customers telling us how happy they were with how their ponds were now versus the way they were before. And so I really am a believer in beneficial bacteria. I really do think that it works. But like anything else, you can't just throw it in there and just assume that, all right, it's going to be fine. It's not a one-off thing. You have to be consistent with it. You need to do it on a weekly to bi-weekly basis throughout the entire season. It's just what it is. Michael, you want to go over Coizyme and Jumpstart as two other products? I don't have them here, but can you talk about them a little bit? This is my favorite thing to do, is to actually just throw Michael under the bus and just hit him with something when he least expects it.
Keeps me on my toes, I guess. So Jumpstart is what you're supposed to be doing now, especially now, or if you're starting up a new pond. Jumpstart will get you the live Nitrobacter and Nitrosomonas bacteria working right away. A couple preconditions to using it: you need some sort of ammonia in the pond to allow a food source for the bacteria to continuously grow, multiply, and propagate in your biofilters. You need also KH, at least an 80 ppm, which is around 5 drops in a KH test kit, but higher would always be better. We always recommend to leave it at a 7 drop or 125 ppm concentration. We sell it in 32 ounce in a gallon. 32 ounces, I think, does 1,200 gallons, so you need to buy accordingly. We just got a shipment of it in, so if you guys are needing some Jumpstart, which I've had some customers already buy it a couple weeks ago, put it in their pond, and their pond is running seamlessly. Bacteria is already there. They're not waiting for it to start up. It happened right away. Coizyme, on the other hand, is something that you're going to be doing on a weekly basis. You're going to be treating the pond weekly with Coizyme. All depending on your water temperature will depend on the dosage that you do. You have a question?
Spring said to refrigerate.
Yeah, so Coizyme should be kept refrigerated for it to last its longest. Obviously, you don't necessarily need to, but to increase
another 6 months.
to increase the longevity of the product, which is around another 6 months to it, keeping it refrigerated will allow the bacteria to stay dormant until added to the pond. Coizyme you're going to be doing on a weekly basis, and all this is doing is knocking out all the pathogenic bacteria that could cause ulcerations, fin rot, mouth rot, all the nasty stuff that you don't want happening to your fish, especially now where they're still waking up and they're going through the motions of getting their immune system back up. So using those two products in conjunction now and then continuously using Coizyme throughout the season until you shut down are key players to making sure that your pond stays healthy and running at its best. Yes.
4 questions.
4 questions. Question number 1.
Jeremy said, what do you think of noalgae?
So, Jeremy, noalgae, we don't have any experience with it, so I can't comment on that.
I used it a while ago. I tried it. I didn't have any luck with it. Our customers didn't have any luck with it.
So I'm going to reiterate what Sean said just in case you didn't catch it. He's used it in the past and hasn't had any success, and neither has the customers.
When speaking with the manufacturer, he was constantly he kept saying, "Oh, you're not doing it right. You need to follow, all the steps." And quite honestly, like if I have to jump through a whole bunch of hoops to make this stuff work, and I have to call you to figure out how to use it, then it's not a product I was interested in using. I'm not saying it's not going to work if you figure out how to use it right, but if I had to go and talk to the manufacturer and decipher how it was supposed to work, then it's not a product that I'm really interested in using. But it may still work though.
Question number 2.
What temp should the pond be for Jumpstart?
65.
Question question number 3. Kathy Crowdy commented saying,
Let's answer the question. So the question was,
what temperature should Jumpstart be used at minimum of 65 degrees? Kathy Crady's question.
I read on Sean's steps back watching that beef filters should have KH of 180. It's hard with water changes to keep it at that.
125. It should be 125, Kathy. Unless the instructions are wrong.
right,
Then
it should be 125.
Yeah, so it needs to at least be 125 or 7 drops on the KH test.
It could be 180 and it won't be a problem, so don't freak out if
Yeah,
it's 180.
yeah. There's no fear of having a KH that's higher than 7.
Linda Harwood said, new pond, new water with a pH of 8.5 out of the tap. How can we get the pH down as the fish are in a tank with a much lower pH?
So that's a good question. So making sure your KH is at the right level will buffer out the pond. But when you have the KH as high as we tell you guys to, it will naturally always be 8.4-ish. And that's perfectly fine because it's not going to go higher or lower when you have enough KH buffer inside of the pond. So it'll keep everything where it should be.
Noah Harwood commented saying, we have had good results in Kansas with no algae.
Okay. So we have one customer, Linda, who has said no algae has worked, but we stand behind using Proform PC and any of the koi care products because we've used it in the field as well.
Jeremy said it's the same as Poison, we're the same purpose. No algae, I'm assuming.
I wouldn't say. Would you say it's this new algae is the same as Corzine?
No.
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 Not even the same thing.
They're completely 100% different types of products.
Yeah. So new algae is nowhere remotely close to new algae.
Yeah, poison is beneficial bacteria. That's very specific to pathogenic bacteria. New algae is specific to algae, so they're two very different products. He's on your back. He's actually pretty slow moving. I think he got his friend down there. You may have stepped on him. All right, so we were talking about beneficial bacteria and the importance of aeration. And guys, I know that we repeat some. How many people are on right now?
23.
23 people. So not a lot of people on today. It is Mother's Day weekend. How many people are new? If you're new to the show, please give us a shout out. We want to know if you're new. We want to say hi. And aeration is key to success. We use a couple of different brands for our build out. So when we're doing installations and what we sell in the store, this is the Mito line, and I like to use the Mito line. This is actually a Japanese company, and it's a linear piston instead of a diaphragm. Diaphragms, you break down over time. Linear piston just lasts. It doesn't last forever, but I could probably count the amount of Mito air pumps that have stopped working on one hand. They just work better, and we try to carry better products in the store. We try and stay away from the stuff that's just is not going to last. So we have the whole Mito line of products here. The step down from that, we do have the Atlantic air pumps here. This is the 1800 and the 3600, which is a 30 LPM, and LPM means liter per minute, and a 60 LPM. And one other thing we talked about last week, and I will keep pushing this, guys, because this is something that you should have here. Okay, this is a battery backup aerator. This goes up to 60 LPM. Okay, and it's a dial flow, so you can actually, come here, bring this over here and pan in right here. So, guys, here's the plug. Okay, we're not plugged in here. We charge this so that we could keep this on the shelf. Okay, it's on right now. I'm not plugged in. Okay, it's a battery backup. And this is throwing off a lot of air. Okay, but I can dial it to put only a little bit on, or I can put a lot on. Now, it can go all the way up to, I think, 20 plus hours if you had it on low. But the whole idea here is that you have a backup just in case something happens. you know when I sell the most of these, and this is a horrible thing, and I guess it's kind of like it is life, is that we tend to do things when something happens. So when all the fish die because you had a power outage, then we sell a lot of these. But the idea here is that you're buying this beforehand. Excuse me. Preemptively. God.
David Main's comment said, what size hose can be used with that battery-powered air unit?
3/8. This is the 3/8 hose. This is 5/8. This is 3/8 hose. And this is what fits. 3/8 fits all of these. Goes right on there. See that? It'll fit right on there. Same thing with these. Same thing with these. So the Mitos 3/8 hose gets inserted into this. And you just go like that. So same thing here.
Got another question.
Another question.
Spring Axe, can you split that and do multiple lines or just one line on that air unit?
You can split it. Of course you can split it. You can split it with a splitter. Here's a splitter. I use the Metalla. So you can dial a literal a lot depending on, air is always going to take the path of least resistance. So it's good to have, if you're going to split it, it's important to have a manifold, not just have a bunch of hoses that go. You need to be able to control that flow because, as I said, it'll take the path of least resistance, and the shortest distance is going to get the most air. So you need to be able to dial that one down so you can dial the one that's further up more. So good to have these. We actually have a smaller version here. This is from Aquascape. This actually would fit. Look at that. This is pretty cool. If I take that off here, I could actually... Nope, I can't screw that on. Doesn't fit that. But it's not as cool as I thought. I thought maybe I could screw that on there, but it doesn't fit. But I could put that on there with a hose clamp and then screw that onto there and have that. So that would work. This does screw right onto the Aquascape air pumps, which we need to actually bring some in to the store. I will get those in. So, any other questions regarding aeration? Well, you know what? If you have questions, let's talk about the importance of aeration, guys. And I know that I'm repeating myself, but I repeat myself all the time. Aeration does a lot of things. It provides oxygen for the fish, and that's kind of like par for course. It's air will provide oxygen. And it's not... It's when the bubbles hit the surface and it hits the air that it actually aerates the pond. So when the bubbles come up, you're not adding in the air when the bubbles are in the water. It's the more that's breaking the surface, and it's actually turning the oxygen from above into the water. And that's actually how it works. It's pretty interesting, and it churns it in. So it's providing aeration for the fish, oxygen for the fish. It's also providing oxygen for the beneficial bacteria, which is why it's really important to, especially when you have a lot of organics in the pond. If you have a rock bottom pond, to have aeration in there. Just 1 second, because it will help break down a lot of that debris that's in the pond. So it's providing oxygen to that beneficial bacteria. It creates current and flow. So hopefully you guys have skimmers in your pond. If you do, you want to keep the aeration opposite your skimmer. So your waterfall is here, your skimmer is here. You're going to keep the aeration over by the waterfall, either underneath or to the left or right of the waterfall. You want to keep it on this side so that it's pushing and circulating. It's going to be pushing. It's creating surface turbulence that's creating waves that are going to push debris towards the skimmer. It does... sorry, I have a dry throat. I apologize. It is something that's really important for the pond, and that I feel like I have to constantly mention, because we come across so many ponds that don't have it. It's super important, guys. Like, if you don't have aeration in the pond, especially on these hot summers, you can easily lose all your fish. It destratifies the pond, and what that means is it takes the low oxygen water from the bottom of the pond and it'll mix it with the high oxygen water at the top of the pond. And in the wintertime, the added bonus is that it'll keep a hole in the ice and degas the pond. I can't stress the other benefits that aeration provides, which is what I just explained. You need to have aeration running all year long. It's the one product you're going to have in your ponds, especially if you shut your pond down. It's the one product that you will have running all year. Any questions regarding aeration?
Well, Spring reminded us about Danny's question about Proform C.
Yeah,
And
we're
shouldn't.
going to go to that. Yeah, we're going to go to that in a second. We're waiting for Michael. We're going to talk about Proform C. So, what is the question again regarding Proform C?
So he said, I'm starting a Proform C treatment for the first time. Anything special I should or shouldn't do?
So you can't have salt in the pond at all. Water should be above 50 degrees, which I would assume it is.
Let's go back to the salt. So what should someone do if they do have salt in the pond?
So the only way to remove salt is by removing water, and you have to have some sort of salinity meter to verify that there is no salt in the pond. So if you're local, you can come by. We'll test your water for salt. If you
Mike is right here. What do you need?
All right. So if you don't have a way to test salt, we do sell salinity meters. This is a pro version, so it does salinity, temperature, and pH. Super handy tool to have. I have one myself. Use it anytime I'm using salt or want to do a treatment that can't have salt, which is majority of the treatments. You really shouldn't be using salt with. Very good idea to have stuff like that on hand. Kathy Karate's question, I think it was Kathy saying, can you use Proform C, Proform PC, and Coizyme together? I'm just going to reiterate, yes, you can. They're two separate things, but they're not going to conflict with each other.
Sorry, I walked away from it. Did you answer whether you can use Proform C with other products like Prozzy?
So Proform C can't be used with anything else except for Prozzy. When you're doing a Proform C treatment, there's really nothing else that you should be adding to the pond, but you can use Proform C with Prozzy not only to solidify, to make the Prozzy soluble to the pond water, but other than that, no, you can't use anything else.
And I have another question. Doug Haskin asks, how do you control mosquitoes in the skimmer?
Hey, Doug. Very hard to answer that question because there's no chemicals against that. Here, this is a question for you, so we're going to swap around.
All right.
We have a question from Doug who's asking how to
Hi,
control
Doug.
mosquitoes in the skimmer. Mosquitoes.
How to control mosquitoes in the skimmer. So there are a couple of companies that do make mosquito products that are fish safe. There are some mosquito dunks you can use. I mean, you've tested them out. I've seen customers use them. They use them in fountains, things like little statuary fountains where the water is kind of static, and they'll throw these mosquito dunks in. You could certainly put one into a skimmer. I mean, I wouldn't think that a skimmer to me would be the last place. Are you talking about like mosquito larvae? Are you seeing larvae on the filter pads and stuff like that? Because you're going to get a ton of circulation in a skimmer. I would think that you get mosquitoes in there.
Open up the lid
And the mosquitoes are in there. Interesting.
Little flies. I don't know if they're mosquitoes.
Yeah, I don't think that they're necessarily flies, because you'll get. Yeah, no, sorry. I don't think they're necessarily mosquitoes. I think that they may be flies, because you get a midge fly. Like if you pull out your filter pad or some things that are sitting in the water, you're going to see these little worms that are kind of squiggling around, and usually a pretty good sign that your pond is fairly healthy. But I believe that it's a midge fly larva. If you are getting mosquitoes in your skimmer, and I would think that if there was any place that wasn't going to be stagnant, because it would be your skimmer, because your skimmer is constantly pulling your water circulating through the pump. So anything that was in there would just get pulled into the pump and get chopped out, because you don't really have a lot of stagnant water in your skimmer. Are you sure it's mosquitoes?
Kathy Weekly asks, do mosquito dunks prevent koi eggs from hatching?
That's a really good question that I can't answer for you. I mean, I have been told that mosquito dunks are fish safe. we'd have to check the label. Actually, I don't actually have any here. It's one of the things we need to order. We haven't had it in a bit. So I can't answer that question for you, but it's a good question. It's something that we could certainly look up in the future, but I can't answer you today.
All right, so I have a question. Are excessive bubbles on the surface typical during bronzy treatment? Haven't seen it in the past. Maybe varies by product.
Yeah, I mean, you'll definitely get some bubbles in the water. That's fairly common.
Any sort of treatment,
Yeah.
really.
Usually when you're adding anything to the water, you're going to get it. It's going to mix in with the water, and you're going to get some bubbles in there. Once the treatment is done, do some water changes, and you should get that cleared up. We have been seeing a lot of spawning, so if you are seeing bubbles, spawning has been a common occurrence in the last few weeks. That's fairly normal. Spawning can cause all sorts of other issues, ammonia spikes being one of those, and foam on the water is another one. The only way to really get rid of this is to do water changes. So if you guys are seeing foam on the water, doing water changes will help. But yeah, any other questions? Nope. All right. So I do want to do a section on filtration. I'm not sure when we're going to do that. Maybe we'll do it on next week's show. But it is on the list of things to do, is to go over bead filtration and green resets in more detail. We've been selling so many green resets that we actually ended up selling one of the display models. So I don't actually have a GR100, a green reset 100 in stock to show you. But I do want to go over filtration in more detail, and we'll basically start from the beginning. So we'll start with the most basic, which would be a skimmer and a waterfall box, and then we'll move our way up to the green resets and the bead filters. And it'll be a good conversation. I'm looking forward to having that. We can go see what Chris is up to and talk about bonsai. Why don't we, I'm going to go take a quick walk over and see if he's available while you're looking at some fish. But we can definitely condense this down. But we try and carry a breadth of stuff here. So we carry everything from rubber fern coes to check valves and unions. We carry quite a bit of everything so that we can ensure that you have what your needs are. Everything we use, we don't use drainage style fitting. So when you see an elbow here, it would be like a Schedule 80, Schedule 40 for pressure elbow. So when you see the difference between a drainage fitting and a Schedule 40 for pressure fitting, you're going to have a lot more glue area here. So a drainage fitting would actually have about half this size. So this is the only fittings that you should be using when you're doing pressure. So really important. Question?
David Means is asking, what's the best UV filtration for a 200-gallon pond?
The best UV for a 200-gallon pond.
UV filtration. So I guess it's like a UV filter.
David, you're talking about like a combo, like a UV filter combo? Just clarify that. But I mean, where you're going for a 200-gallon pond, I mean, I would do a green reset 25. And I could actually show that to you. This is a GR25. Okay. So we're talking about combo units here. Thank you. Definitely gets dusty in here. This is just taken out of the box. So this is a green reset 25, a GR25. All right. Water goes in, water goes out, and water goes to waste. When you're looking at any type of filter like this, one of the key components needs to be the backwash in it. And we've tested everything. We've looked at all the different filters that are available, and we've been installing these selling them for 10 years. It's been a long time, maybe even longer. One of the best features of this is the backwash on it. But it does have a UV light built in. It has a great backwash built in. Filter pads are stacked all the way up in the system. You pull the handle up. This one, the handle's shorter. Okay. On the side here, it says filter and clean. You turn that to clean. Turn this to clean. Okay. You're going to turn, this says filter here. It's actually in clean mode right now, but you would just push the handle down like so, just like that. All right, I didn't mention turning the pump off, so you turn the pump off. Now the pump you need to turn back on, and you're going to open up the waistline here. We like to put a little ball valve on here so that we can easily just turn it on and off rather than do this, and then you can either hard pipe or set some hose up that goes out to waste. Some water will always come out of the waste. Pump is now on. You're going to push this down. So you can see it's a bit harder. But what I'm doing is I'm literally squeezing the filter pads out like I'm squeezing out a mop. So you're squeezing out all the crap. And what I do is I give it a couple of pumps, and then when you hold it there, the pump is on. It's now pumping the dirty water out. It's like when you squeeze out a mop or you squeeze out a sponge, a lot of dirty water comes out. That's what's happening here. The pump is now pushing, as you're all the way down, the pump is pushing all the dirty water out. And as soon as the water gets clear coming out of here, you're done. You pull this back up. You go back to filter mode. Go back to filter mode. This just drops down. See how hard it was before? Then it easily drops down when you're done. The UV light is right here. You can actually, there's a hole in the handle. You can actually just peek down and it'll glow blue. Which is very convenient. To get into the filter, and you don't need to open the filter. You open the filter once a season to empty it and the filter pads out and clean them off and store it away for the winter. But to get to the filter pads, you open this up, pull the top off, and you can get access to the filter pads. In the smaller versions of this filter, there's also bio balls on the bottom. So on the 25 and the 40, there's bio balls, and there's a 10 watt UV in the 25. There's a 20 watt UV in the 40. Both of those have 1 inch and 1 out. 1 inch in and 1 inch out. On the GR60 and GR100, Green Reset 60 and Green Reset 100, you have dual 20 watts on the 60 and you have dual 25 watt on the 100. So you have 50 watts on the biggest system. Otherwise, they function pretty much the same. The handle works the same. You have 2 inch in and out on the GR60 and the GR100. So it's a true 2 inch in and out, which I have a big issue with a lot of the other pressurized filters out there is they're not a true 2 inch in and out. They're either a 2 inch that narrows down to a little tiny 1 inch entry point, which will slow down the flow. So they talk about how the filter can handle a lot of flow, but then they cut it down to 1 inch. What filters? That's the Pond Master piece of junk crap. Sorry, I'm going to be very open about this stuff. You know, when I don't like something, I say. Laguna, same thing. Laguna, also not a very good filter. Lots of problems. Pond Master, yeah. Oh, the Pond Max. So the Pond Max, we definitely had I don't have enough experience with the Pond Max to really comment, but I do have experience with the Laguna, and I do have experience with the Pond Master. Both are absolute garbage. I'm sorry if you have one. If it's working for you, great, but the experiences we've had with them were just horrible. On the Laguna has these two poles that you pull up, and then when you push it down, it literally just scrapes the side of the filter pad, which is ridiculous. And the quartz sleeves would break. While we're doing backwashing, we would break the quartz sleeves on them. And it got to the point where the only way we would clean out a Laguna is if we opened it up by hand because we had so many problems with them. They're absolute garbage. This filter, every filter has its issues, and this filter is the one filter that has really continued to improve itself over time. We're very close with the manufacturer, and we're constantly talking about new ideas. And we're actually a huge catalyst in the design of this new handle here. We worked with them directly as they were making it. They sent us the prototypes to test out, and we've talked to them about many features to upgrade on this filter, and they've been hugely responsive in making those changes. Question.
Heath.
Hey, Heath.
He says he's had a Conmax and flush mechanics, but not great.
Yeah. So there's my experience with the Ponmax one was that it's you kind of spin this thing around. Oh yeah. It's you spin this thing around and it kind of squeezes it as it goes around. And guys, I don't know how good or bad it is, but one of our customers is saying that the experience they've had with it is not so great. So I really like the green resets. Like I said, everything has its issue, and one of the things that we had an issue with, they're actually worked on. So we're excited about these newer versions. But the new handles work amazing. The old handle was, an actual handle, and it would actually snap. So this new one, just pushing down, like I barely put any pressure on it, and it opens and closes and rotates. So it's a huge, huge difference. And when you get one, it won't have so much dust on it. But yeah. Any other questions regarding the green resets other than price? So pricing on the green resets. This is the pricing on the different systems. You have the 25, the 40, the 60, and the 100. The green reset 100 is not $100. Who made this? Did Robin make this? All right, we will have to yell at my wife Robin about that one because $100 is not correct. Here are the actual prices. $100. Yes, that is not correct. We're going to take a walk outside. We're going to talk about aquatic plants because it is the season for aquatic plants. And we're going to go talk about that now. And we're going to talk about little floating islands. And we're going to talk about fish. It's 12:34. You guys all okay? I know we've been on for a little while and we haven't gone over fish yet. But okay, let's go do aquatic plants. We're going to venture back out into the hot. We got some customers out here. We got to get a price on this, on the patio ponds. Hi guys.
Hi. You know anything about a dislocated jaw on a fish?
Yeah, it's probably not dislocated. It's probably a deformity.
It wasn't always that.
Yeah, it'll happen over time. Yeah, it usually happens like if they have mouth rot or something like that, and then it heals up.
It's like it used to go.
It kind of stays open.
Yeah.
Only one side.
Not all of it,
Yep.
just one side.
And
Yeah.
it used to pop back in.
He may grow out of it, maybe not. Yeah. Usually, some kind of mouth rot situation would cause something like that. It's something going on in the mouth, and as it healed, it could be the scar tissue that's healing back is just causing it to. It may not affect him. I mean,
Yeah, he's still eating.
he might eat more. His mouth is always open.
Actually, he's the thinnest one out of all of them. So I think he has a harder time eating, but he still does.
Right.
Get at it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was anything that could be done. I mean, I don't know if I should take him out and try to pop it back in.
You can try. Mouth to mouth work sometimes. It's
Not doing that. So I'm not doing that.
yeah. There's not much you can do about it. Just cross your fingers and hope he gets better. Yeah. He might grow out of it over time.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
you're very welcome. So we're going to talk about aquatic plants. No, it's okay. Huh? Oh, you're on camera now. Now you got to do a whole feature on her.
Not that you know of, anyway.
Exactly.
I recognize her.
Oh, we got to bring her out. She's got to go sign the paperwork now. So it's
Okay. Someplace.
So we have a couple of different things going on here. We have our water lilies, and right now we just have hardy lilies. We will be getting tropical lilies in. I'm bringing some in, so I'm excited about that. The difference between hardies and tropicals I mean, hardies will come back every year. Tropicals will not. But you will get a lot more flowers on tropical plants, and not only that, you'll literally get flowers all the way into the end of the season. So they will bloom the entire season. So you'll get a lot more flowers, and you'll get a lot of nicer flowers, and it'll bloom for a much longer period of time. But unless you have a way to preserve those plants until the following year, you're probably going to lose them. So there's a positives and negatives to having one over the other. We did just get these guys in. These are really unique, and if I'm pronouncing this correctly or incorrectly, I'm not sure. This is pronounced, or it's spelled out as Wanvisa. Let me know. I guess you guys can't really tell me if I'm saying it correctly, but I have to sneeze. Question.
Same question. When do the tropicals expect to be in?
So, I am negotiating right now with them. So, I may be able to get some in next week. Huh?
Spring?
Thank you, Spring. I may be able to get them in next week. We'll see. We actually have to pot them up. So they come in bare root. So it's not a conversation Michael and I have talked about yet. That was so close. When I say, she was like, I couldn't even see the light in between the two vehicles. That's how close she was. Holy shnikes. Yeah. Thank you. Good insight.
Spring says Tom would be good at planting the tubers.
So, yes, he would be. So, we are going to... Oh, look, someone got the hose in. How did you get that in there?
Just keep on fidgeting.
I mess around with it. You saw me the other day. I pulled it out 100 feet, and it didn't go.
It's not as good as us.
So, the idea here is, yes, we're going to have both hardies and tropicals. Tropicals is not something we've sold in many years. But we really would like to go back to getting some nice ones. We're also going to get night lilies in.
That's great.
Thanks, buddy. Have you ever seen night lilies? They're pretty cool. They only bloom at nighttime, which is really unique. So if you have lighting on your pond and you get some night lilies in there, they have really cool, very large leaf, variegated usually. And the flowers are massive, and they only bloom at nighttime, but they'll bloom the whole time. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Definitely hard for everyone to get out. We may have to expand the
cut away at
the grass a little bit. So, Wanvisa. And what's cool about this one's actually a multicolored flower. Check that out. I do have probably about 20 of these in stock. We ran out of these. We got them in last week, I think. The first shipment? 2 weeks ago, and they were literally all gone within a week. Yeah, all the Wanvisa were gone really quickly. But we have a lot of different varieties here. Pink. This one is called Madame Wilfron Ganaire. Not gonorrhea, Ganaire. And this one has a smaller leaf. Check this out. This one's called Aurora. Also a pinkish leaf. We don't ship these out. We just don't really have a way to ship them out. But if you do live local, then we're happy to we're happy to help you with these. It's just not something that we can do. Here's yellow. This one's called Joey. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. But all these different names are from the people that actually created them. There's a lot of people that actually create new types of water lilies.
Spring was saying Colorado was her favorite one.
And we have Colorado in here somewhere. So this one's called almost black. This one's really cool. I think that's the same as this one here. Yep, those are all almost black. And the water is a bit nasty because we just put these in. This one's called an attraction. We have a lot of different varieties, which is great. This one's called albatross, which is white. We have one that's called Colorado here somewhere, and there it is. This is the Colorado. Really nice flower, and you can see that the flowers are very different on these, on the different lilies. So you can look at the difference between the petals on these. So this is a much shorter and has a lot more petals versus this one that has much longer. So it's nice to be able to have a variety of different stuff in there if you can. Find a spot to put these back. You know, I love this stuff. You know, when I was younger, a very, very long time ago, my dad lives in Florida now, but my dad and I would go to a place called Shearer's, and we would buy plants, and that's kind of that was like a big deal. Like, we would get to drive all the way to Shearer's, and it was really far. And Shearer's was actually, I think they were one of the first aquatic plant nurseries in the entire country. And they're over 100 years old, and it was just like a cool thing. I mean, my dad and I didn't get along at all, and we still don't get along that well. But I love him very much, and it's something that is a great memory for me, is going to Shearer's with my dad, and it was one of the things that we didn't argue about. And to this day, you know, it's something that, you know, is near and dear to me, because you know, it's something that I'll always remember going to do with him. And we used to go and pick all of our aquatic plants there. We would get fish there too. You know, so this has been a part of my life since I was very young. I think I started doing this when I was 16. I built the first pond at my parents' house, and it's always stuck with me. Even though I had a completely different career, I did this stuff for a while when I was younger, and I worked for a company called Atlantic Nursery for a period of time. And then I got the opportunity in the video game world, and it was because I dated a girl that was at the company. It was just one of those crazy things, and it was one of those should I go right or should I go left moments. So I went right, and I went to the video game space. But I eventually found myself back here doing this because this is what I loved. You know, I built a pond in my backyard about 15 years ago, and that's what started all of this. Again, was me building this pond in my backyard. And I remember calling my dad and saying, like, I'm going to build a pond and I'm just going to put goldfish in it. And he freaked out. It's like, what do you mean you're just going to put goldfish? You have to put koi in the ponds. And then I bought some koi, and I had them in a holding tank on the floor because I bought them in the winter. And I bought them from a place called Simikoi in California, not even knowing that the koi were from Blackwater Creek in Florida. So the fish flew from Florida to California, then from California all the way back to New York. And I gradually killed almost all of them through the winter because I had no idea what I was doing. And I had them on a bin on the floor in my dining room, which had a wood floor, by the way, so all the water would seep through and ruin the entire floor. So my wife was really happy about that. And that was the start of me doing this business. It was me just starting to get into koi again. But all that from me just telling you about going to Shearer's with my dad. I mean, Shearer's is still around. But, you know, we've learned a lot since then, and we have a nice collection of plants, and we continue to grow it. We also have lotus over here, which I'll come over here, and then we'll go over to the marginal plants. So we do cover these up. The reason why we cover them up is just the sun is extremely brutal here. We'll come over to here. So we have these in a 16-inch pot. Thank you, Michael. We have them in a 16-inch pot, and we have a bunch of different types. These are all hardy lotus, and they will bloom. I think that they'll bloom multiple times over the course of the season. I absolutely love lotus. They're really cool. They are a bit temperamental. It is kind of cool when you see when it rains, you can see how the water just beads on it. See that? Check that out. See that water is just kind of sitting there, and it just kind of rolls. It just rolls right off. So when it rains, you can see that happening. It's really cool to see as if you ever go outside by your pond in the rain. But they look really cool, and you can have a couple of them together, and they'll take up a nice area, and they flower and just look really cool. We have marginal plants. We have some stuff that we've potted up. We have pitcher plants, which are great for bogs. We have hardy plants, which are plants. You will get these plants to come back year over year, assuming that they don't freeze. So that's really important, that they don't freeze. Thalia is one of my favorites here. You can see the thalia here. This is lemon mint, and it's cool to have the lemon mint, and we talked about this last week. But you can't obviously smell this, but it's nice to have, because you can smell it when the wind blows through, and you're sitting in your backyard and the wind blows through. You can smell the mint, and it's a deterrent for raccoons. Apparently, raccoons don't like this. I don't know why, but they don't like mint. So when you throw out your garbage, just put some mint in there, and yeah. So we have lots of low-growing plants like creeping jenny. We're actually going to put a bunch of this around the pond. Then we have some tropicals here. Tropical, so we have various types of elephant ear and canna, and we have this is the calla lily here, and you want to have a variety. If you did all tropicals, it would look amazing, but the issue you're going to have is that you're going to have to replant those every year versus having some of these hardies that will come back every year. Any questions? No questions? All right. So we're going to go on over, and I think we're going to start the koi portion of this. A charger? Gabe, can you find us a charger? Isn't there a charger in there? Should be a charger in here. Michael, why don't you show off the plants? Oh, looks like we got the skimmer in here too. Good. We're just going to grab a drink really quick. So we're going to do toe side and some knee side today. I decided to switch out to, and you can take a look here, we switched out to a no-niche skimmer versus the skimmers that we had. Quite honestly, the other skimmers just weren't working really well. So we decided to switch them out. So I'm eating a piece of candy because I'm hungry.
Find the charger?
Michael's just going to find a charger, and we're going to set some stuff up here so that we can do some fish. So let's talk fish. What are you guys looking for? is there anything specific you guys are interested in? You know, every week we do this. We always have, sorry, I'm eating a candy because it's so dry in here. Every week we do this, and we're trying to pick what we think you guys are going to want to see. But if there's something that you really want to see that we didn't pull out, then let us know. I think I'm going to start with the Fukasawa. Any questions, Gabe? How many people are on? There are 26 people on. It's a little quiet. Do you want it this low?
No, this was yesterday. No, right here.
Oh, okay. All right, so we're going to pick some fish here. There's a lot of stuff here from Fukasawa, from Benny Kiko to, we have some Ginner and Showa in here, some lemon harawaki. Let's pick some fish. These guys are going for 200 each. We are, yeah. Yes.
Lorna Kennedy said, good afternoon. Just want to say super happy with my phone. They are doing great. Thanks.
All right. How are you, Lorna? Thank you. Benny Kiko. I'm just picking out some fish for you guys. Okay. So we are gonna. Dad. Hey, Ed. Okay. So Ed's coming in. Ed has gotten a bunch of fish from us, and he has a couple of fish that he still wants to pick out. So he's going to come in tomorrow. So we're excited to see him. Okay. Calm down, guys. Grabbing a few uniques here. Oahu, Tantra Goshiki, Ginner and Showa. Start with these in here. While I pick a couple more. The Fukasawa is one of those farms that just has a very eclectic mix of fish. Come on, guys. So Gabe's just going to show you guys those fish while I'm grabbing a few more. Yes.
Adina suggested that maybe the live stream should be moved to the evening times since spring and summer are busy times.
Doing evenings would be difficult because then I would have to get everyone to work in the evenings. So that would probably be a difficult thing to do. Thank you for the suggestion. I just don't think that we can do it. That would be difficult.
Denise Perkins asks, what do you look for when picking out younger Sanke?
Younger Sanke, I mean, we're looking for, good body, of course. We're looking for a nice balanced pattern. With Sanke, I mean, it's you don't want to get something that's finished when they're really young because they've already peaked. So you need to kind of look into the future, just like with Showa. You want to see what's coming, so you can still see faded spots that are coming up underneath. You don't want to pick, as I said, something that's finished. So what we have here, we have a nice mix of different types of fish. Here's a nice Beni Kiko here, and here's a Kikiko here. Nice, pretty clean head on this Beni Kiko. These guys are around 10 inches. Guys, we're going to do our Mother's Day sale, which basically is 10% off on all fish today. We also have we'll continue to do our $650 shipping on Southwest Cargo. So if you spend $650 or more, you will get free shipping on Southwest Cargo. That came out better the second time. Not $650 for shipping. If you spend $650 or more, you get free shipping on Southwest Cargo.
How much are these?
These guys are $200, but you will get. We are offering a 10% off sale today for Mother's Day weekend. So whatever you purchase today, you will get 10% off.
Ed said, I really like when you guys show.
This fish I'm going to take out. It looks like he has a little bit. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him, but on his gill plate, it's a little bit. So we're just going to put him back. So we still have two Beni Kikos here. These guys are $200 each, plus you get a 10% off whatever you purchase today. This guy's pretty cool. He's got one black eye and one orange eye on this Beni Kiko here. So here's number 1 and number 2. Any takers on number 1? Here's number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is all Beni. The whole fish is all Beni red. And here's number 2. Really nice symmetrical scalation down the spine here. You guys know that Beni Kikos are my favorite. Any takers on either one of these? So today's offer, they're going for $180 each.
Joe Kaufman will take number 2.
Okay, number 1 and number 2. Here's number 2. Thank you, Joe. Happy Mother's Day weekend to you. Go that way. Okay. Do we have any takers on number 1? You want to put number 2 in there? Yeah, I'll do it. There's number 1, and this is also a very unique. I'm gonna call it a Kikujaku. Definitely an interesting fish. That's why I pulled them out. So here's the Beni Kiko, and here is the Kikujaku. Ki being yellow. So these guys are going for $180 today. Any takers on either of them, Kikujaku or the Beni Kiko? You can just say Kujaku or Beni Kiko. Any takers going once? This guy's really cool. He's got nice sumi black over his eye, which is pretty cool. And then some over on this side too. But nice reticulation in the scales. The reticulation being like you can see the fukra and the skin in between each scale, which is pretty cool. So when this guy gets really big, it'll really stand out. Any takers going once? Any takers going twice? No? Got nobody. Alright. Now we're moving on. A nice Goshiki here. Alright, we have Goshiki, Showa, and Ginrin Showa. Huh? Hey, what'd you call it, the Tancho? I mean, I guess you can call the Dada Tancho Showa, sure. He's got a split fin here. Let's put him back, because his fin is really split, so I'm going to put him back. Let's go with Kohaku. A red Kohaku. Alright, so we have Kohaku. Sorry, I have waterfall foam on my finger. Kohaku, Showa, and Goshiki. You can see the Goshiki starting to blacken up. You can see the black on the face coming in. Pretty cool fish. Nice balance across the body. This is all going to darken up in here. Kohaku is red, and the Shiroji white is white. And you have a very nicely balanced Showa right here from Kase. Alright, number one is the Kohaku, number 2 is the Goshiki, and number 3 is the Showa. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Any takers? Number 1 is the Kohaku, number 2 is the Goshiki, number 3 is the Showa. These guys are $180 today. Free shipping when you spend $650 or more on Southwest Cargo. If you're new, just let us know. We'll get some information from you so that we can ship these fish out to you. We can still board fish, although at this point, most of our customers are getting their fish shipped fairly quickly. Number 1 is the Kohaku, number 2 is the Goshiki, number 3 is the Showa. Any takers going once?
Amanda spoke at, do you have any butterfly kois?
I have some. We have some butterfly. Yes, they're small. Any takers on either one of these or all 3? You want to take all 3 of them?
She's asking if you'll be showing them.
What?
If you're going to be showing the butterfly.
I guess we can pull some butterfly. We generally, they're just very small to be selling the butterfly. We don't really do it because they're just too small and they're just hard for us to track them. It's really just for local sale.
Joe Kaufman asks, will you be showing the big guys today?
Yeah, we can do some big guys today. I'll definitely pull some fish today for you, Joe. Any takers on either of these 3? Well, I'll do all 3 of them for... Because normally, what do we got? It was $180 for 3 is what?
540.
I'll do all 3 of them for 500. I'll take $100 off if you take all 3. Any takers? Let's get the net on there. There's one down there. Any takers for all 3? Do all 3 of these for 500. Normally they're 200 each. We are doing a sale for 180 each, and I will do all 3 for 500. Any takers going once? Going twice? Alright, we are moving on. Take a look in this bowl, guys. If there's something here you're interested in, let me know. Otherwise, we'll go and we'll find something else. I know it's a quiet day. It's warm out. Everyone is kind of taking advantage of the warm weather, which I completely understand. I mean, a lot of the customers are actually here buying stuff, so I get it. All right, I'm going to move on. I'm going to put these guys back. If there's something you saw in the bowl that you want, let me know. What are we going to move on to? Could you switch out this bowl? Or switch it out together. Ooh. Watch out for that. So, thought maybe I would do some Suzuki. Let me pull a couple of these guys. So I'm just going to grab a few of these. See the sumi really starting to come out on these. Come on, guys. Give me a couple of seconds. Okay, you know what? Hold this ball. Okay, dump that ball and bring it over there, and I'll fill it. There, grab that. Make sure you lift it high enough. Sorry. Okay. I should have put the water in first, but okay. Okay, these are from Suzuki. These have been going for $400 each. Today I'm going to go $300 on these for today. That's the sale today. You get $100 off on these guys. We've sold a lot of Suzuki, and they've just been amazing. I'm going to go $300 today on these guys. What do you think? They're pretty cool, right? Let me know what you think. Now, the reason why I grabbed this Tancho here, this is all Sumi Black that's coming up here. Remember, guys, you're not taking this fish on based on what it is today. Where you want to know where it's going. So you can see all the Sumi Black coming up under the skin here. Cool fish. And then here's a really nice Deutsch Showa. These guys are $300 each. Any takers? You just don't see fish like this. Really nice Deutsch Tancho Showa.
Joe Kaufman, I think, wants the Deutsch Showa.
Okay, the Deutsch Showa or the Tancho?
It's the Deutsch Showa.
Okay. That one's yours, Joe. Guys, these are $400 each today. I'm doing $300. Mother's Day special. $300 each. Joe, nice fish. Is Joe the only one that's buying today, guys? Check this out. We have Deutsch Shiro Utsuri and Deutsch Sanke. Two gorgeous fish, going for $300 each today.
Take the other Sankai. Linda wanted to see the Sankai.
Here you go. Hi, how are you? Deutsch Sanke. These are going for $300 today. Mother's Day special.
Joe Kaufman said any other Deutsch Showa in there from that breeder. The quality in person is way better than the video. I got one in my last shipment and it's awesome.
Thank you, Joe. So here's number one and number two. I do have more Deutsch Showa.
Linda wants the bigger one.
Okay, the bigger one's yours, Linda. How many do I show? Do you want, Joe? I mean, I do have a bunch. There's 2 more Deutsche right here. These guys are going for $300 each today. Normally they're $400. They're going for $300 each.
Joe Kaufman said I'd like 3 more with bold patterns.
All right, so take a look at everything in here. I'll go grab 1 more for you, Joe. Hold on a second. Huh? 3 more? That's a no good on those? Do me a favor. Let Gabe know if you text if you see something else you're interested in while I'm grabbing these. For some bold pattern, Deutsche Showa. There's 1. Right there. Okay. Well, I'm just grabbing some more anyway. Just grabbing a few more anyway, so. You can take the 3 that are in there, Joe, or I grabbed a few more for you.
Here,
What do you think of these 3, Joe?
I will take the second and a 3. So I take those.
These 3, okay. Joe, so you meant these? You want these 3 that are being shown right now?
He said yes.
Okay, they're yours. You got a good photo?
Yeah.
Next. This show's got nice sumi coming up on it, around the head, around the body. There's 3 more. Deutsche Showa. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. 1, 2, and 3. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Any takers on 1, 2, or 3? 1, number 2, or number 3? Number 1, number 2, or number 3? So you're going for $300 today, guys. Did I mix them up now? Is this number 1?
I think so.
1, 2, 3. For number 3, any takers? All right, moving on. Take a look at the bowl, guys. Is there something in the bowl you may be interested in? We may cut the show short today if no one's buying stuff. We are going to go to the bigger fish.
Jeremy said there's one with a little orange behind its head.
This one right here is pretty cool. Looks like he's got a black concho spot. Is that the one, Jeremy? Any other takers on anything else in here? This is a really nice show right here.
Sean, do a deal on the bowl.
I'll do a whole deal on the bowl. Does anyone want the whole bowl? What we got here? 1, 2. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 fish in here. Oop. 10 fish in here. This would be $3,000. I'll do this whole bowl for $2,500.
Yeah, everyone said that the video keeps freezing.
Well, that's not good.
Elizabeth Thompson said, can you bring up a few more from this breeder?
Sure. Guys, you want me to put these back? Let me know, should I put these back or do I need to bring more out? I'll grab a couple and put them back. I'll leave the ones I think should stay. How are you? Good to see you. Come on, guys. Just grabbing a couple more. Here are a few more. Deutsch Shiro, Deutsch Showa. Sale today, they're going $300. It's a nice Tancho Showa. You guys gotta let me know what you're interested in. You have 3 different types here. Just name the type. We got a Shiro, a Tancho, and a Showa.
Elizabeth Thompson will take the Tancho.
Okay.
That's good.
All right, next. You see anything else in the bowl you're interested in, guys? Let me know. Some very nice fishing here. Got some Deutsch Shiro with some Showa. I got a Tancho in here.
Elizabeth Thompson is asking if you can pull up all the Tanchos in here.
That's it. These are going. These are on sale today for $300 each. Normally these are $400. Thank you, Elizabeth. Now remember, this is all going to change back here. All this Sumi black is coming up on this fish. What?
I think she said that.
Okay. Guys, see anything else in here you're interested in before we move on? Very nice Deutsch Showa in this bowl.
Stacey Palmer is asking Doi Kikasui or Ogon coming up today or next Saturday.
Well,
Yellow,
Kikasui
platinum, blue, gray,
are automatically Deutsch. Kikasui is basically a Deutsch scaleless kohaku. So it's a metallic kohaku.
Or she said Ogon, yellow, platinum, or blue, gray color.
So start over. So what were the other fish besides Kikasui?
And Ogon, but she said yellow, platinum, or blue, gray color.
All right. So we have
The larger butterfly.
the large butterfly I have are going for $600. but we're running a sale today on those guys. I don't have that many left on the large butterfly, but they're running 10% off. Let's dump this. Sorry, I almost dropped the camera. 2 weeks ago, I dropped the camera in the water.
That's nice.
Went down to the bottom of the tank. Oh. Hey. Nice. Chris is selling some bonsai trees. All right, so we're going to head over to here to grab some water. So Platinum Ogon, Yamabuki Ogon, Ginran Yamabuki Ogon. I'm going to show you a couple of things. All right. I need that. Just washing my hands. Okay, we're going to pick some fish here. Okay, can you grab me that koi sock? Thank you, sir. Okay, so I'm going to grab, might as well, while I'm in here, I might as well grab some asagi and some shusui too. Come on, buddy. The Yamabuki. Hey, Gabe. Come here a sec. Just picking out a couple of fish here, guys. Almost there. I'm going to put these in so you have something to look at while I fetch the next batch of fish. Come on, guys. I was jumping a little bit. So what you see in front of you, see some Yamabuki. You know what? I'm going to grab a couple of Shiro because I see some nice ones I want to grab. Give me a second, guys, while I pull out a couple of platinums. Alright, so here we have a couple of different things. Everything you're seeing here is Tosai. So you were asking about Ogon. So here we have Yamabuki Ogon. We have Ginrin Platinum Ogon. Oh, sorry. Did I get it? Yeah, we have a Ginrin Platinum Ogon, and I actually have a flat white platinum. There's 4 different types. Okay, we have Yamabuki, Ginrin Yamabuki, Ginrin Platinum, and a Platinum. Pretty cool. The rarest in here is definitely the Ginrin Yamabuki. This is not something you see every day. Super rare, really hard to get these. This picture having a giant Ginrin yellow fish in your ponds. Same thing with the Ginrin Platinums. Today's sale, they're going for $180 each.
Elizabeth Thompson?
Yes.
She wants them. I don't know which one. Go ahead and ask.
Elizabeth, let me know which one you're interested in. Or do you want to get all 4 of them? I'll make you a deal for all 4. Just let.
Doesn't take all of them. Stacy will take a Ginrin and a flat white.
Okay. A Ginrin Platinum and a flat white Platinum? Let me know which one you're interested in, Elizabeth.
Oh, so still doesn't. Stacy Palmer updated what she was trying to say, Ginrin yellow and a flat white, but Elizabeth just says Ginrin.
Alright, so let's start with these 2 first. I'll go back to these other 2. So here's a flat white and a Ginrin Yamabuki. 2 very nice picks. Super, super white.
I'm getting confused with the 2 people.
Okay, so what do you want?
So Elizabeth just said Ginrin, and then Stacy has 2 different ones, which is
Alright.
those 2.
Yeah, so Stacy.
Stacy.
Did I say Elizabeth?
Talking about Elizabeth, yeah.
I know, but let's do these 2 first because she picked hers out and I don't know what Elizabeth wants yet, and I can get more of these. So let Stacy pick. Let's pull Stacy's out while we can. I can get another Ginrin Yamabuki and another flat white Platinum. Okay.
This is just the flat white.
Okay. All right, Elizabeth. You're interested in Ginrin. I had 2 Ginrins in there. These 2. We have Ginrin Platinum and Ginrin Yamabuki. I also have a Ginrin Asagi. I can put that one in there too.
Ginrin Yellow.
Ginrin Yellow is yours. Not Ginrin Yellow.
This one.
That one's going to Stacy. Okay. Okay.
Elizabeth just says yellow. Ginrin.
All right, let me go grab another Ginrin Yamabuki. I'll be right back. Yeah, the Ginrin Yamabukis have proven to be really popular. Okay. I put all the Ginrin types in there. So Ginrin Yamabuki, Ginrin Platinum, and a Ginrin Asagi. We're going for 180 each today. Happy Mother's Day weekends. Really cool. The Ginrin Asagi has like blue eyeshadow over his eyes.
And I see all Ginrin Yellow.
Yes. This one's a little bit larger than this one. Okay. It's yours. All right. Very nice shirt, Suri. You know what? Check out this Shusui. It's really cool. What's interesting about this Shusui is that it has a metallic outline around the scales that going down the spine, which is really cool. I don't know if you can see that on video. These are going for 180 each today. A nice balanced pattern Shiro. Nice Shiroji white. And this Shusui is just unique. It's got this metallic sheen around the scales. Any takers on these or anything else in the bowl? before we move on? I'm starving. I'm so hungry.
Right, and large yellow.
What was that?
I'm having some difficulty with what Stacy told me about. She says the yellow one's not correct. So I guess it's.
Do we need to trade out?
No, it's that one.
Which one? This big Yamabuki?
Yeah. And take out the.
We pulled two Ginrin Yamabuki though, so you know which one it is? It's a nice Yamabuki. Alright, I'm going to put these guys back unless someone else wants something from here. Any takers on anything else before I put these guys back? Morning, Charlie. Alright, we are going to move on to bigger fish. Michael, let's take the camera and look over at these guys before we go over to the bigger guys. That's probably not on.
Oh, it's on.
Yeah?
But it hasn't charged.
That's not good. But did it go down? So we have Showa in here. These guys are $500 each. So these guys are anywhere from 15 to 17 inch. We have Showa, Yoshiki, Ginrin Kohaku, Kohaku, Ginrin Showa. Do you guys have any interest in these fish? Otherwise, we're going to move across to the bigger fish. There's 4 on. All right, let's take a walk over. I know Joe wanted to see the Kieran. Yeah. Oh, good. Gabe, did you see the customers out looking at the plants? There's just 2 people right over here. Michael, ixnay on the don't show. I'll pull some fish out. You can keep the camera over here for now. I'll pull them into the bowl. Let me know if there's anything of interest in here. Why don't you talk about these while I pull the Kieran? How are you, sir? How are you?
I don't know.
There's no force on from either side.
Alright guys, this is our big fish tank where we have some of our most prized koi here at our facility. All these koi are between 2 to 5 years old, ranging from 20 inches all the way up to 34, 36 inches. Chagoi, Ginran Chagoi, Kiyutsuri, Kujaku, Akamatsuba, Tanchos, Platinum, Mukashi, Showa, Kohaku, Yamabuki, Benikiko, whole slew of different fish. Deutsche Showa. Adina, the next fish Sean is pulling out at the moment. I'm just over here trying to buy him some time because there's some people around. The next raffle will probably start in the next month or so. Next raffle fish we have no idea yet. We have to come to a consensus on what to do.
Sorry guys, I just had to grab a toy sock. Just give me a second. I'm going to pull some fish and I'll go on and see a couple of things.
You want to feed them? You can feed them. They'll come right up to you. It's definitely an experience having them come up right to your hand. Yeah. You want to try? Sure? Yep.
Alright, Charlie?
You're going to have to bring the bowl closer.
So these guys have grown quite a bit since we originally brought them in. These are two gorgeous female Kieran from WADA. I'm going to be honest, right now they're selling at $12.50, and I will honor the 10%, but after this week, I'm actually going to bring these guys up to a different price point. But I will honor, because that's what we had before. So these are super special Kieran from WADA. This is a Deutsch Shower. That's from Shinoda. Joe, are you on the line? I'm also going to pull the Ginrin Kiyutsuri. The big Ginrin Kiyutsuri. So 10% off of $12.50.
It's red and white on beautiful.
Gorgeous, gorgeous Deutsch Shower. $11.25, Joe, which is a steal. Yeah, these guys are jumping up quite a bit higher after this week.
He says he'll take the larger Kieran.
I think it's this one right here. All right, you want to take a picture of that one, and I'll. Well, I'm going to see. Does anyone else want anything else in here before I put them back? I'll move this one. If you take a picture of that one, I'll move it, and then they can look at the rest of them. Where do you want it?
I'll go put it away.
Okay. Okay, I still have 3 amazing fish in here. Okay, this is a Kieran from WADA. This is a Ginrin Kiyutsuri, I believe from Marahiro, and then a Deutsch Shower from Shinoda. These fish are between 18 and 20 inch. So the Kiyutsuri, you know what, Joe? Because you are who you are and you've been so amazing to us, I will do that deal for you. Michael, we're going to do the Kieran, and he's going to take the Kiyutsuri. We're going to do both of them for $2,000. That's Joe. So Joe's been really good to us, and I'll honor that for Joe. Thank you, Joe. What else do we have today? We have, guys, I'd be shocked if someone doesn't take this Deutsche. This Deutsche is amazing. We only have 16 people on. It's pretty quiet today. The show is $11.25. That's the sale price today is $11.25. Greg, that show is amazing. What a gorgeous fish. It's $11.25 and you get free shipping on Southwest Cargo. You're not going to get a better deal of that. Anyone else would be selling that show for $2,000. Let me know what you want to do, Greg. Otherwise, I'm going to put them back. Is there anything else you guys want to see? Greg, I can't believe you're going to pass on that fish. Okay. How about you?
What?
You
I
interested?
heard 11.25 free shipping.
Yes, $11.25 and free shipping.
How the hell are you shipping? You put them in a crate and they're all
In a
right.
box in the bag. Yeah, they're fine. We ship them all over the country. Every day you ship fish.
I hate to crowd them up. My other fish.
Chagoy, I have either giant, big chagoy, or I have some smaller guys at $200 a piece. Actually, $150 a piece. Both? Yeah.
Hey, on. You want it? Well, you want the yellow one or the red one? I'll take the red one. Yeah. You don't want that color. So, you need fish.
That's a nice fish. That fish would easily be $2,000 at any other dealer.
11.25 free shipping. You like the yellow? Let's go to the yellow right here. God damn.
What did you see?
All right, we can do the personal shopper. Whenever you're ready, just set it up. Oh, don't do. Personal shopper will not be available on Monday. We have 2 guys out on Monday. Just letting you guys know ahead of time. Where do you live? Yeah, I grew up in Massapequa, Ball Harbor. I grew up in Ball Harbor. Okay.
Yeah, bigger one than that. Full solid yellow.
Okay. Big Yamabuki. I have some over there, yeah.
She can't. She woke up this winter. She came in crying that somebody took her yellow fish. She turned white.
Doesn't usually happen on the single color fish.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe stress.
I don't know why. I gave him tons of air over the winter, and it wasn't really cold.
Yeah.
I only froze 2 days. 2 days.
All right, guys. I think this is going to be the end of our show for today. So I don't know if I'm aiming at myself. I want to thank everyone for joining today. It was good to have everyone on, and we got to do a lot of stuff. And we appreciate everything you got. Joe, thank you. Everyone, thank you. And we will see you next week. Have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day. And we'll talk soon.